Welcome back to Family Line. I'm sure we heard all they've said as regards our discussion today, really. But now let's come back to our guest today, who will be doing justice to our discussion today, really. How do a woman, a career woman, balance both work and home demands? It's a very, very vital discussion. And I have here with me architect Titilayo Olukoride Adeleye. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's an entrepreneur, she's also a certified counselor, and what have you, she's just a whole lot. Many thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Kemi. I'm happy to be here.
So, like, I see you having all of these, being an entrepreneur, being an architect, you're a counselor, you have all of these. Are you a mother? You're a wife. It's really, I just felt you're really going to do justice to our discussion today. Now, let me start by asking you, what really makes a career woman? When we say this woman is a career woman, what does it mean?
Thank you very much, Kemi. Once again, I'm happy to be here. A career woman is a woman who has either a business, a career, or, works somewhere aside from managing the home. Okay. Aside from her responsibilities as a wife and a mother, a career woman has a business concern, she has a career, she has a business that she also engages in.
Okay, so what differentiates a career woman and a stay-at-home mom? Because these days, we barely have a stay-at-home mom. Most stay-at-home mom are now into business. They work from home. They necessarily don't have to go out. Now that we are in the digital age, social media, online, e-commerce, so many of them are working from home. Now, what differentiates a career woman from such kind of woman, a stay-at-home mom, but still works from home?
But thank you very much. I mean, you said it all. What differentiates a career woman from a stay-at-home mom is that the career woman has a different set of challenges than a stay-at-home mom. Okay. A stay-at-home mom probably, is not working, does not, maybe for that time in her life, doesn't have any business, any career that she engages in. She has her own set of challenges, but the career woman has a business to attend to, she has a job to go to, she has even if she's working at home, she has a different set of challenges to cope with.
Really. Now, what we are now talking about, a career woman trying to balance both home and work demands, it's always boils down to parenting most times, It's like, you don't have time for your children, a career woman don't have time for the wife. In fact, the children come before the husband. Now, let's talk about parenting. What would you say is one of the significant part of parenting?
Thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. What I would say is the bane. One of the most important parts of parenting is spending time, quality time.
That's attention.
Giving attention to the children. And as a career woman, it boils down to time management. Okay. You have to manage your time in such a way that you're able to spend quality time. It's not that you're on your computer and then you're listening to the children. You have to devote time consciously and devote that time to your children. Yes, so that you know what they're up to, you ask them questions, you gist with them. Basically just be their friend. Find time to play with them.
Okay, now, in that kind of situation, really, it would be very, very difficult for such woman, who is into a career, who also want to meet the family needs, the children needs, the husband needs. Now, my next question will be, how do you think a career woman really can balance both home and work demands? Because obviously, when you're at work, there is this work etiquette that your work, whatever problem you have in your home, you don't bring it to work. You have to give it your whole, you understand? So now, what really it is that a career woman must do in order to make this balance between the home and work demands?
Yeah, thank you very much. And that's a very important question. And what I would say, and what has worked for me, is number one, a career woman has to be an excellent manager of her time. We spoke about that. Yeah. You have to learn how to compartmentalize, You have to know, okay, when I'm at work, I'm the MD CEO. And then when you get home, you have to put that cap of MD CEO down and put on the cap of a mother and maybe a wife.
No, but do you think that works these days?
You have to learn how to make it work. You have to consciously do it. So when you're getting home, so you take a deep breath and say, now I'm a wife and I'm a mother. And you switch into that role consciously. Sometimes it takes having to say no to some things that you need to do. When you get into your home, ensure that you are a wife and a mother. So we said, you know, you have to be an excellent manager of time. You have to learn how to prioritize. You have to know the things that are important, the things that are not important. You have to know what to say no to and what to say yes to. Because a lot of things are competing for your time, even outside work. So you have to learn how to prioritize, know when to make your family a priority. And lastly, you must get a support system. You must get a support system.
Okay. Now, I would love to actually go to the challenges, but now let me now go to the support system you said. You know, we have so many gender activists who will come out and say, oh, women, give them the same opportunity as the men, and that. So now I'll talk about parenting and all of these and balancing work and home demands. Do you think that the male gender should also be involved in these and not just leave the parenting side to the mother?
Definitely.
Because when you're talking about support system, I think the man should come in.
Oh, definitely. You're very right. You know, talking about the support system, you know, the father and even the children in the home must be an active part of making things work in the home.
Okay.
You know, a lot of women overwork themselves thinking that they are indispensable, that if they don't get anything done, it won't get done. That is not true. You know, a lot of women overwork themselves thinking that nobody can do it as well as they can. You know, but there are certain roles that a man, a father, an uncle has to play in a family that, you know, they can play very well.
Okay.
There are things you can let your children do. Give them responsibilities from a very tender age. Get support. Don't walk yourself to the bone thinking that, oh, I'm the only person that can do it. Nobody's helping me. Engage everybody. Even if they don't do it to your satisfaction, let them do it. Over time, they will learn how to do it well. And then in getting a support system, avoid stereotypes. Know the season that you are in as a woman. Maybe your children are all under the age of 10. Don't compare yourself to a woman whose children have all left home. So, you know, get a support system that suits the season that you are in per time and avoid stereotypes.
That's a very, very good point. Now, let's talk about the challenges women go through, career women go through in order to achieve all of this. Let's discuss the challenges. What are the challenges?
Thank you very much. The challenges are quite many, especially, I mean, we must say in the African setting.
True.
Yeah, in the African setting, you see, a career woman in the African setting has to work twice as much as her male counterparts to prove that she knows what she's doing.
True.
Yes. And so, because of that, a lot of demand is placed on the career women. And then, in the homes as well, there are a lot of women that don't have the support that they need. There are a lot of women that are stereotyped. There are a lot of women that are going through peculiar challenges in the home. Sometimes there's abuse. You know, sometimes there's a lot of situations, you know, individual and peculiar situations that kind of draw them back, you know, from, you know, getting them to be the best that they can do. Challenges differ, you know, per circumstance. Yeah.
Okay, now, but how do you think such challenges can be surmounted? You made mention of one. They need to have a support system. What are other ways can they overcome all of these challenges?
Thank you very much. One thing I would say to women, I know I say this all the time everywhere. We must break this culture of silence. Women must learn to speak out.
Okay.
You must learn to share whatever you are going through. And then secondly, you must get support. Get mentoring. You know, talk to other women that have been through what you're going through, that have been where you are at, so that, you know, if a woman has gone through what you're going through, you don't have to go through that, you know, the challenges that woman went through. So they will tell you, share with you how they solved their peculiar challenges, and then you learn from there. You know, women too should support women. We should support ourselves. We should lift each other up. Yes, and you know, if you're a journalist, there are older journalists that have been where you are today. And can just tell you in a simple sentence, oh, this is what you're going through, this is what you're dealing with, you know, this is how to do it.
So what advice do you have for women that, okay,
women should get support, women should support each other, you know, and speak out.
Okay. All right, now let's talk about stigmatization. There is a kind of stigma that comes with being a career woman, especially, you know, like in the African setting, you hear extended family saying, she has done this, she has done that to be where she is today. You sure she's not cheating on you as a husband? And you hear stigma, like you hear them being stigmatized, you know, outside, and you just wonder, where is this coming from? This is me who's trying to do everything it takes. What do you think such women should do? And what would you say to their stigmatization?
Well, a lot of career women go through that, truth be told. And what I would say to such women is hold your head high up and be focused. Be focused. Nobody argues with excellence and results. When you achieve excellent results, the same people that are talking and saying all kinds of things to you would come back to come and praise you.
Definitely.
And they would want to be associated with you.
Definitely.
So hold your head high up, be focused, do the best you can do, and make sure you achieve excellence.
Okay, so it's cool that you have actually advised women who are in this show. Now, what advice do you have for women who are career women, who are trying to make the family work, and they are in an abusive marriage? What advice do you have for them?
For women in abusive relationships and marriages, the first thing I would say is stop feeling ashamed. It is not your fault that you are in that situation. Stop thinking that what would people say. The next thing I would say is speak out. Let somebody know what you're going through. And after that, get yourself out of an abusive situation. It is not proper for anybody to be violent or to be abusive to another human being. Get yourself out of that situation while you plan your next step. And I must add a rider, Kemi.
Yes.
A lot of women in abusive relationships must plan their exits. If they don't plan their exits, they will find themselves going back into that abusive situation. Again, I would say a woman in an abusive situation or relationship has nothing to be ashamed of. Don't think of what people are going to say. Speak out, get support, get help, and get yourself out of that situation.
And one last word for that career woman who is really going through tough time. It's not easy. And when you're a career woman, you're an architect, you know what you do, you know what you go through. What's that one advice, one word of courage for that kind of woman?
One word of courage is that whatever you're going through as a career woman, it's a season. It's a season. Learn how to manage your time excellently well. Get the support of your family. Learn to prioritize, learn to compartmentalize. It's a season, and after a while, you would look back and you start enjoying the rewards of being a career woman. It's a season you are going through, and after some time, you'll be over and the rewards will come. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Architect Titilayo, for joining us on Family Line.
Thank you very
really
much.
A very great conversation with you.
Thank you.
All right, and that's it on Family Line. We've discussed about how a woman can actually balance both home and work demands. I'm sure you've learned one or two things and also take to the advice of Architect Titilayo. Make sure you join us same time, same station next week. I am Kemi Omoshebi Awudeyin. Many thanks for joining us.